Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me on this YouTube live. I really appreciate it. Welcome back to my channel. Today's topic that I wanted to talk about is what is love after a breakup, right? Before I get into it, please, if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, please hit the subscribe button, right? And make sure you stay tuned for other videos. So I wanted to talk about what is love after a breakup, right? If you have been through a breakup within this pandemic, or if you have gone through a toxic relationship, I want to talk about, what is love looking like for you after that breakup, right? A lot of people are just confused, or they're so they're so caught up on finding somebody else to replace that feeling with inside of them, that hole, that void that they want to fill after a breakup. Whether the breakup was toxic, whether it wasn't toxic, but it ended really bad. There's something there, regardless of not you guys broke up, and there's a reason for why you broke up, right? So I wanted to what love looks like when you leave a toxic relationship, right? Because I have experience on that. So what I wanted to talk about, anything that I talk about on my channel, first of all, you guys all know I've been through it, right? I never like to bring up a topic or talk about something that I have not experienced, or I've been through. So at the end of the day, I'm going to talk about in this video what I've experienced after a narcissistic, toxic breakup relationship. How did I deal with love after that? It's currently now been a year since we are completely broken up. And how have I dealt with love, just love in general, right? After that toxic breakup, after it was 18 years being with somebody who is toxic mentally, emotionally, verbally abusive to me, how did I deal with finding love with inside of myself, or understanding what is love in general? I feel like a lot of times that when we are in a toxic relationship, we have this idea that what love is. But realistically, when you're in a toxic relationship and you're allowing somebody to either abuse you mentally, emotionally, lie to you, cheat on you, and you're constantly staying with them, and we think we're in love, this is love, and we come to realize after that breakup that's not what love was, right? And what I realized, and I noticed talking to so many different people, is a lot of people fail to realize that sometimes it wasn't love, it was more so codependency. We had a codependency issue, and we were so codependent on that person being there for us, and we're feeding into just the attention, or just talking to that person. We're like in this comfort zone with this person, and we're so codependent on that person. And what I found, and I learned, and I realized through narcissistic relationship and narcissistic abuse, that it's crazy how there is chemicals inside of your brain, that it's kind of like a drug. When you have codependency, right? And on a person, codependency could be on a drug, codependency could be on approval addiction, codependency could be just being codependent on feeding that need that you need, that feeding that void that needs to be filled, right? And a lot of time when we're leaving a relationship that's toxic, or we're going through a breakup, it's like we have that void inside of us, where we just want to fill that void. We want someone to love us. We want someone to treat us good. We want someone to show us attention. We want somebody to cuddle with, or we want somebody to have sex with, or whatever the case may be. We just want that void to be filled, right? And we just think that if that void will be filled, then we will feel complete, right? And then we get caught up with filling that void, and sometimes it's a temporary fill, and then we're back to square one. And this is why I feel like you really need to take a step back after a breakup or after a toxic relationship, to really understand and dig deep on what is love. What is love after a toxic relationship? What is love after a breakup? Because sometimes, again, we get out of that bad relationship, or we get out of that toxic relationship, and then we find ourselves back in the same shit, in like a freaking cycle, right? Because you did not take the time to understand what is love really, right? And I'm, again, whatever I speak on, I'm speaking out of experience, right? So when I first broke up with my ex, I kept going into relationship after relationship after relationship, trying to fill that void that I was feeling inside of me. And I kept attracting the same narcissistic people into my life, you know, like, just, it was like a teeter tatter, teeter, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And it's just like, I don't think I really understood what love was until I took a step back to sit with myself and really dig deep into myself and understanding what is love, and not being codependent to get that love from outside of me, right? So a lot of times, again, when we go through a breakup, when we're leaving a toxic relationship, we just want to fill that hole. We just want to feel complete. We just want someone to show us this attention, this love. And sometimes we turn to sex. When we get out of a breakup, we go right in bed and sleep with somebody else just to get that affection, just to get that attention, just to fill that void of what you no longer have with that person that you broke up with, right? So sometimes we turn to sex, sometimes we turn to weed, or we turn to drugs, or we turn to alcohol to fill that void on what we're feeling with not being with that person anymore. And again, it just brings you back to in this freaking circle of, again, not understanding what love is, right? Because true love, and I'm going to dive deep into it now on what I experienced and what I understand off of love after a toxic breakup, is true love is loving you, is understanding that everything that you want outside of you, outside of that breakup that you wanted from that person, that you want another person to come into the side of your life and treat you with respect, treat you with love, care for you, cuddle you, give you affection, show you compassion, romance, whatever it is that you want from outside of you, that love is inside of you. You're born with abundance of love already. You are whole, you are complete, you are enough already. And that's what I figured out, and I found out about love after a breakup, after a narcissistic relationship, after a toxic relationship. I was able to find out that everything that I wanted in love outside of me from that toxic person was in me this whole time. And when I realized that, I'm like, I could have walked away so many years ago from this person abusing me if I had realized that the love that I wanted, that I kept begging, that I kept asking for from him, was already inside of me. It was there the whole freaking time. But I was so blindsided, and we get so blindsided of, again, wanting somebody else to, searching for that love, searching for that affection, searching for that attention, searching for that approval outside of us. And that's not love. That's just codependency. You're depending on that person to love you. You're dependent, and you're attaching yourself. What I realized, again, at the end of the day, you came in this world by yourself. You're coming out of this world by yourself. So the things that you attach yourself to, right now, whether you're in a relationship or you just got out of a relationship, the things that you attach yourself to, the stories that you attach yourself of the past with that person, or attach yourself of that person today, or people, The things you're attaching yourself to right now in this very moment is what is hurting you, is what is cock blocking you from understanding what love really is. Because it's flooding your mind with thinking that you need this person, you need this story inside of your head, that you're clinging to everything outside of you, when realistically, when you can take a step back and understand that, man, that what I was experiencing with that person, depending on for that person to give me, and nobody owes you shit in this world. Even if you're in a relationship, they don't owe you nothing. You owe it to yourself to understand that you have everything within inside of you, that you are abundant, you are love, and that they are coming in your life now to share what you have to offer. Not give it away, not expect anything in return, or not. No, you guys are sharing. You are whole and complete. That person is whole and complete. And you guys are now sharing. You guys love with each other, because you understand that everything that you want outside is already in you. So you no longer are fiending and being codependent on someone giving you this and someone showing you this and someone doing. No, it's not about them. It's about you. And that's what that's the biggest thing that I realized coming out of a breakup, is understanding that love is within me. I don't need to search for love outside of me anymore. I don't need to search for another man. I don't need to search for, if you're a guy, you don't need to search for another woman. You need to take a step back and look deep inside of yourself and say, what is stopping me from seeing that love within me? Because a lot of times it goes a lot deeper in understanding that maybe as a child, that's where the codependency kicks in. You were not getting attention where you were younger. Maybe you didn't feel loved. Maybe you didn't feel approval. Maybe you didn't get that affection that you wanted when you were younger. So all those emotions that you were lacking when you were younger, you're grown to an adult now, and now you want it outside of you. You want this person to do that for you. You want the money to fulfill this. You want the job to fill this. You want the career to fill and you're constantly seeking for things outside of you to fill that gap within inside of you. And then when it doesn't stay consistent, right? Then you're suffering. You're suffering, you're stressed, you're frustrated, you get angry at a person for not doing what you want them to do for you. But at the end of the day, it's not about them, and they don't owe you shit, because at the end of the day, like I said, you came in this world by yourself. You're coming out of this world by yourself, right? So you have to understand that the love that you need to realize after that breakup is already in you. It's always been in you. And again, we get so caught up on looking for love outside of us, and we get so blinded from people and things and situations that we fail to realize that all that love that you want from that other person has been inside of you this whole time. The whole time. And when you can tap into that love that you have within inside of you, you can start now treating yourself the way you wanted to be treated from that toxic person or from that breakup or whatever the case may be. If it wasn't a toxic breakup or whatever, but you guys broke up for some sort of reason, right? So whatever it is, if you're going through a heartache or a pain or whatever, realize everything that person offered you, everything that person could give you, you have within inside of you. And you need to now tap in to that love within inside of you to give yourself all what you wanted from outside of you. And when you can tap into that love, you can now feel whole. You can feel complete. You can now stop the freaking cycle of people breaking your heart, of people, of you feeling like, oh my God, I can't go on no more. Oh my God, like this person left me. What am I going to do? Like, I feel like this life is not worth living. I'm feeling like, man, like, and you're obsessing over that person and having that codependency on that person because of that breakup. And again, codependency, that's not love. That's an obsession. You're obsessed and your ego is taking over your mind and your emotions on what it wants. Your ego just wants to be fed. But if you stop to really dig deep and understand, was that person really showing you all what love has to offer? True love is if you really love somebody and you know that you guys are not a good match for each other, then you are able to love them so much to say, you know what? I wish them happiness. I wish them well. We were just not a good fit for each other. So instead of us being toxic for each other, lying to each other, cheating on each other, hurting each other mentally, emotionally, and abusing each other, it's better that we go our separate ways. And I wish them the best of luck in life, love, peace, and happiness. And you don't wish no bad doing on them. That's true love. That's true love within inside of you because you know you deserve better. And that's true love that you love for that other person because at the end of the day, you know that your love itself is not dependent and your happiness and your life is not dependent on that one person. And that you love them enough to understand that we shared our love at one point in time together. And now it's time for us both to go our separate ways. Because I know you deserve better and I know I deserve better. And that's what I realized about love after a breakup, that it all starts with inside of you. Everything starts with inside of you, and you are whole, complete, and enough. You are enough. That nobody can take that abundant of love from you. You can share it with somebody else, but no one can ever take that away from you. And when you can step into that power that you have within inside of you of that love, woo, it's a whole different ball game because you start setting boundaries with certain people. You start setting boundaries with yourself. You start knowing your self-worth. You start loving you again. You know what love is, so you start loving yourself more. You know what you bring to the table. You're whole and complete. You start loving the time that you spend with yourself. There's so much things change. So much things. And then from there, you can attract. You won't have to go searching for love. You wait, you sit, you keep working on yourself because you know you are worth loving, right? And you just sit back, relax, and let love come to you. And when that love comes to you, it's going to be somebody who's gonna, like, basically, you guys are gonna be like a magnet that come together. And you guys are now, again, going to share each other's love. He's not going to be lacking nothing, and you're not going to be lacking nothing. So that already breaks the cycle for codependency not to happen again, for you not to attract another person who's going to be dependent on you to fulfill them for their happiness. Because at the end of the day, you guys are both whole and complete, and you guys are attracting each other. Remember, life itself is a mirror. You're going to reflect off what you are inside of you. So that's why understanding that you are loved and feeling the whole completeness of who you are and the love within inside of you, then you can really live out love, and you can really have a loving relationship with somebody else. So I hope this video helped you in some sort of way on understanding love after a breakup. And it helps me so much to realize these fundamental things that I just shared with you. And every day is a process. Every day, it's like reprogramming your mind to now understand, to just really work on you and stop looking outside of you. So it is a process. It is going to take some time, you guys, but you are well worth it to work on yourself every day and spend that time alone by yourself to really hone into that love. Because like I said, when you can find that love, it can't go nowhere. It can't leave your life. It can't break up with you. You'll always have you, and you'll always have that love. So thanks so much for watching, you guys. I always say in all my videos, each one teach one, share the love, share the knowledge. Whatever you learned from this video, have a conversation with somebody else. You have no idea how you can impact somebody else's life with the knowledge that you learn. Or share this video. So if you did enjoy this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give me a thumbs down, leave a comment. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and join the community, you guys. I have a community going on. I just started a Facebook group. It's called Wise Up, Rise Up Facebook group, where I post up great motivational things all the time. Come follow me on Instagram. My Instagram name is Toronto_Tracy_Golbin. I also have an amazing podcast that drops every Thursdays, right? It's called Wise Up, Rise Up Podcast, where I talk about different subjects to keep you inspired, to keep rising and growing and uplifting your energy, your vibe, and your life. So thanks again for watching, you guys, and take care.